What's up? The Braves recap doubleheader game 1 for August 9th here. We're inside Truist Park today and giving you your Braves recap. The Atlanta Braves win 7-1 over the Marlins in game 1. So the story of the game was Hurston Waldrep, who pitched 6 innings for the Braves, 89 pitches. Second start for the Braves this year, where he's pitched very well. 8 up ends for the Braves with sinker, his splitter, his curveball, and his fastball, keeping his off balance for the Marlins today. Only gave up 1 run today for the Braves, which is good. Kept things in line for the Braves as well. Offensively, you got something going early there with, it was great to see the Braves get this thing offensively going and get 7 runs today. Great to see that for the Braves. It's something that Braves are struggling with getting runs, but it was good to see that. And then in the bottom of the second, Murphy hit by a pitch, Harris doubles, and Albies just hits the ground ball, gets him over. Eli White sacrifice fly, gets him in, make it 2-0 for the Braves. And then, in the third inning, Profar walks, Olsen got a single, and then, you had get hit by a pitch there, so single to right rather, and the ball is single to center, made it 3 to nothing for the Braves there. So the Braves had enough today to win the game with their offense today. In the 7th inning, the Braves had scored 4 runs. 7th inning, highlighted by Michael Harris, 3-run home run for the Atlanta Braves to win the day. They go to 49-67 on the year. Game 1 of the doubleheader here at Truist Park. You see behind me, empty stadium. You see behind me. So yes, the Braves got the job done today. But Hurston Waldrep was the story of today's game, pitching very, very well, keeping the bullpen rested and not doing too much. He had 2 games today. Only pitched Chris Johnson 7 innings. He got a hold. Dylan Lee came in the game as well. And then also you had Kenley come in for the Braves to complete the game in 9 innings. So the bullpen was not taxed. With game 2 here coming up here at 7:15 in Truist Park tonight. So like I said, I'm out here in the stadium right now doing my thing. I'll be here. So as you can see, we're here live here giving you a Braves recap live from inside the stadium. See the ambiance behind me. Ambiance behind me. Truist Park, baby. So tonight we'll be outside as usual, but since it's doubleheader day, doing it from inside. This is giving you your Braves recap. We'll catch you on the flip side. We out.
How good did it feel to follow up what you did in Bristol with a normal start here today and do as well or better?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing, is having a normal start with a normal routine and week, and kind of being able to prepare for it. Nothing was set in stone, but just kind of being able to prepare for it. And it was good outing, and happy with it. So.
Looked like you had a pretty good mix of the sinker and the splitter there, especially the splitter looked like it was a pretty good strikeout pitch for you.
Yeah, it was good. Splitter was there. It's been reliable all year, and that's kind of what I'm known for. So to have it in the back pocket, we used it in several different counts, early, late, but using it to both hands, and had a lot of success with it.
Can you tell me more about the development of your sinker? I know that's a pitch as it get introduced this year.
Yeah, Murph caught me when he was on rehab beginning of the year, and he kind of came to me with the idea of it. I was like, we'll give it a shot. We'll try it to righties, and then as the year went on, we kind of used it to both hands. And both starts up here, it's been to both sides, produced a ton of ground balls, and really happy with how it's played. So
there's a bit of side showing how your leg kick has changed a little bit during the season. How's that helped you just have a more consistent delivery and help your mechanics?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing is just being as athletic as possible when I'm on the mound. Like that's always been the base of my mechanics and everything that I do. So struggling earlier in the year, it's kind of all it boiled down to, is just how can we make this as athletic as possible. And so that's where we just changed the leg kick. We're like, this is going to allow me to get the right rhythm, not have too much movement, and we can produce the same velocity, if not more, with a different leg kick. And the biggest thing has been command, just commanding both sides of the plate with all pitches. And the payoff that we've seen from something like that has been awesome. I've loved it. So
How much did you cut out? How much did you eliminate?
I mean, it's not really thinking about the leg kick. It's kind of like I'd compare it to like a Luke Weaver type thing, or just the front leg just kind of hangs there, and catch myself in my back foot. and just stay controlled, keep everything under control as possible. So I don't really say we let's cut down 50% of the leg kick. It's just like, let's not focus on making it so big. Like, let's just let it be natural, and let everything happen a little more naturally.
Saw your reaction to the pro. Looked like you were in a bit of disbelief.
That was unbelievable. First off the pitch, he got to the pitch, and then I was watching the ball, and I was watching him, watching the ball, like you do with something like that. Saw him jump on the wall, and I mean, I saw him catch the ball like as soon as he jumped. That was pretty unbelievable. That's pretty cool.
Hurston was behind the plate, but how cool did it feel to be part of history today with the first female umpire?
Yeah, I mean, I've had her in AAA a couple of times. It's really cool. I was, able to congratulate her. That's awesome for her. I can't imagine how hard it is for her to have come up, and everyone says it's probably told her it was impossible, but to be able to be part of that, and they made a big deal out of it as it should be, and that's pretty cool for her.
Hurston, these two starts versus the two you had last year, how different is it for you mentally from the standpoint of do you feel like you belong here when you're out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can say what you want. I felt like I belonged here last year. I feel like if they didn't want me here, they wouldn't put me up here. So the results are not always how the game should. It's not always a determination of who should be here and who shouldn't. So we had the injury, and things happen. This game filters out who it needs here and who it doesn't. So having these two starts here this year, but just really everything that I've worked for this year is a completely different mindset, and but it's one of where I know what I need to do. I know it has to happen. I understand how the business works, how baseball works. So it's not really like a it didn't scare me. I wasn't afraid of the failure that I experienced, but it just allowed me a chance to grow and to go in the office every day, do what I needed to do, and just prepare.
Can you expand on that conversation that went into creating that pitch afterwards?
Yeah, we were in the video room after. It was the day after the start. He called me in. He's like, "Hey man, let's go over the start a little bit. Let's look over some things." He noticed some things in my four seam. He's like, "Hey, I think it'd be really easy for you to throw a sinker right here." And I agreed. I threw in the bullpen 2 days later or whatever it was. He was still there on rehab, and I was supposed to throw it to him again that week, but it didn't happen. But it was a lot of video, a lot of comparing myself to other guys who are in the who have the same arsenal, and how it would play and work with both hands. But he was really helpful in the process, and kind of opened some doors for me to be able to go and do that, and know that from what he was seeing that it would play really well. So.
Knowing the struggles that the starting rotation has had this year, especially injuries, what does it mean to come in and deliver the way you've had so far?
I mean, it's my job. That's what I have to do. I'm here in whatever form or fashion that they need me. So that's been my goal from day one, is to, if they say, "Hey, go right now," that's what I have to do. And that's just how the season's played out. So it's very unfortunate for those guys, and they, I see it behind the scenes. They work very, very hard, and a lot of those guys are very earning me their positions, and for me to be here and to fill that spot, that's what I worked for, and you can't ever not be prepared for it. So just happy to be here, but really just doing what I have to do.
All right. Thanks, Hurston.
That went into creating that pitch afterwards?
Yeah, we were in the video room after. It was the day after the start. He called me in. He's like, "Hey man, let's go over the start a little bit. Let's look over some things." He noticed some things in my four seam. He's like, "Hey, I think it'd be really easy for you to throw a sinker right here." And I agreed. I threw in the bullpen 2 days later or whatever it was. He was still there on rehab, and I was supposed to throw it to him again that week, but it didn't happen. But it was a lot of video, a lot of comparing myself to other guys who are in the who have the same arsenal, and how it would play and work with both hands. But he was really helpful in the process, and kind of opened some doors for me to be able to go and do that, and know that from what he was seeing that it would play really well. So.
Knowing the struggles that the starting rotation has had this year, especially injuries, what does it mean to come in and deliver the way you've had so far?
I mean, it's my job. That's what I have to do. I'm here in whatever form or fashion that they need me. So that's been my goal from day one, is to, if they say, "Hey, go go right now, that's what I have to do. And that's just how the season's played out. So it's very unfortunate for those guys, and they, I see it behind the scenes. They work very, very hard. And a lot of those guys are very earning of their positions. And, for me to be here and to fill that spot, that's what I worked for. And, you can't ever not be prepared for it. So, just happy to be here, but really just doing what I have to do.
All right. Thanks, Hurston. Pitched his way into the rotation here after today.
Well, I mean, he's not the 27th man, so I'd probably say so.
Was that as impressive, or even more so maybe than last week? Or?
Yeah. Well, now I'll be honest with you that what he went through to get to Bristol, getting up at 4 in the morning, and that was pretty impressive too. But that was really good right there. Holy cow! I just love to see the progression of young guys. And the changes that he's made, and he's adjusted, and he's pitching.
You mentioned his increased confidence this time around. How have you seen that in him?
It always happens when they come up here and you send them back. They're always better the next time. They always are. And most guys have to do that. The majority of them do, and and everything's not so new to them. They've experienced it, and they come back, and it's a totally different animal than it was the first time through.
And the pitches that are working, do you realize this is why he was a first round pick?
Well, his first round pick, he had arm strength and an out pitch with the split. But now he's pitching. He's I think mixing, the curveball, the split's still a really good pitch for him. The sinker, instead of he's not having to pitch it 98 to be effective, and his command's a lot better. There a lot of really good stuff to like.
He just seems just talking to him like a different guy than he did a year
No,
ago.
I would probably say if he would probably tell you he is. He's more confident. I think they get those innings in the minor leagues are invaluable to work on things and kind of find out who you are and I think it was great that he had all those early in the year until now to kind of work on things and get confidence.
I was the one that kind of pushed him on the sinker and having him try that out. I'm curious, just when it comes to the development of a pitcher, how instrumental can a catcher be? Better catcher?
Huge. That's why Sandy was so good down there with not only the pitching staff but the catcher, the young like Drake Baldwin. But it's and Murph's done a great job with him these first two. He kind of hung with him and got his secondary stuff going his first start, and then I think Hurston had a lot of confidence in Murph catching him again today, and that's big.
That catch by Truist so far, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that was a great catch. I mean, how he just kind of marked that thing down, and honestly, when he hit it, I thought it was going to be in the upper deck, and he stayed right with it. And I told him, it's like you're going to be watching that on TV for 24 hours till we play another game. So it's a great catch.
You've seen Michael Harris. Once he gets to a point where he gets everything together, how good can he be?
He's as talented a kid as I've ever been around. Both sides of the ball. I mean, just the natural ability and strength, and the feel, the knack for playing the outfield, his arm, the whole thing. I mean, he can be as good as he'll let himself be.
Drake Baldwin's another good day at the plate. Seems like once he gets going, he doesn't stop.
Well, I mean, he's a really, really good hitter. I think there's another guy that's had a lot of confidence in himself and understands that he can play here. He's a really good player in this league, and as he amasses at bats and experience, he's just going to get better.
Snit, did the fact that we didn't notice the umpire at first, does that mean it was a good day for him?
Yeah, I always. I mean, she did a good job. Todd tells she's knows her, what she's doing, and so yeah, it's kind of like a catcher. If you leave the ballpark and you don't remember who the catcher is, he's probably did a really good job.
Yeah.
To see that happen, I apologize if this is an ag before the game, but to see that happen, to see this history happen, and you've been in the game for a while,
Well, anytime anybody grinds their way through the minor league, which isn't, I don't care who it is, you hang around, that's a tough job. And, talking to umpires over my years and, their travel and what they go through and everything, I'm happy for anybody that sticks it out and grinds through a career like that and gets the opportunity to be where they want to be. So good for her.